Alright, what is going on, guys? So today we're going to be doing a little bit of a mod list for the sedan. I've had a lot of you guys request mod lists on the car. Some of you guys are new to the channel and don't know too much about them, so we're going to sort of go through them in depth as to what I've done to the cars and how I've set it up. And we're going to start with the sedan. So I'm not going to go too into detail on the history of the cars. In a nutshell, the engine block on the convertible cracked, so I had to get a new daily, and this is it. I had 3 criteria for getting a new car. 1, I wanted it to be a sedan because sedans are clearly better. 2, it had to be either Alpine white or Storo blue because I really like those colors. I found the Alpine car first. And 3, it had to be automatic. Now, there are a lot of reasons I chose the automatic over the manual. There's a whole video on that. One of the main reasons is for the auto to manual swap DIY series that would not exist without buying this car in an automatic. Now, this is my daily driver at the moment, and because of that, I've kind of strayed away from doing a lot of modifications on the car. She has a couple of mods on it, but I haven't really seriously started building this thing yet. While she does have very few modifications, the modifications she does have really count and really carry a lot of weight as far as changing the dynamics of the way the car looks and the car feels and the car drives. I've only done a handful of stuff to this car, but it is a complete different car from when I initially bought it. So as far as exterior modifications go, we have a Euro light conversion, so that is the white instead of amber on the rear tail lights, the side indicator lights, and the corners on the headlights. So this was one of the few things that was done before I even bought the car, along with the headlights. They were already done. They are DJ auto headlights with CCFL halos inside of them, and they're pretty good. I really like how they look. I have a set of eBay headlights on my other car because I was too poor to afford a nice set of headlights, so it was nice that these were already installed when I got the car. In addition to that, we have some black eBay kidney grills. I don't see the point in really spending a ton of money on a set of kidney grills, and the eBay ones hold up just fine. And I also have a set of fog light deletes. We also have the Mishimoto 10-row oil cooler sticking out front, which I think gives the car a fairly aggressive front end. For suspension, the car is sitting on BC Racing BR Extreme Low coilovers with Swift springs. Those are BBS RX 18x8s. So I'm running a staggered tire setup on the squared wheels. We have two 25s up front, and then I have two 35s on the rear because they're a little bit cheaper to run. They're just a little bit smaller than the OE sizes, but I'm not really complaining. The only other suspension modifications are a set of Spa lower control arms. They're lower camber arms, and we did those fairly recently, along with all 4 of the rear end ball joints. I don't really count that as a modification, more of a maintenance item. We have a garagistic rear strut bar in here. The whole trunk is still gutted. I haven't put that stuff back in because I'm lazy. We have an X-brace going from the front chassis all the way to the subframe, so that's a pretty nice improvement. I threw that on fairly recently, and to be honest, I haven't really gotten a chance to push the car on the Canyon yet, so I don't really know how much of a difference it is, but it's nice to know that it's there. The interior of the car is widely gone untouched, aside from the auto to manual conversion that we did. So along with that came the whole manual shifter assembly, so the shift knob, the shift boot, and then of course we have the manual pedal box. This car is dirty, but in truth, it's a daily driver, so this is how it is 90% of the time. I usually try and wash it about once a week, but even then, still driving it every single day, it gets dirty, so what are you gonna do? Aside from that, we have a Kenwood stereo deck, which I lost the Bluetooth code for, so now I gotta rock one of these aux cords. And a little while back, the headliner for the sunroof panel actually came down and hit me in the face. That was pretty cool, so I went ahead and deleted all that and removed all of the adhesive that sticks to it and actually gives it a pretty clean look. So for those of you guys who do have sunroofs, this is what is underneath that headliner, and when it's all nice and cleaned up like that, it really looks clean. I'm rocking a CA tuned Delrin shift knob, and I'm probably gonna get rid of the shift knob pretty soon because it's really not, it looks a lot better than it is. When I bought the shift knob, it came with 2 of these little center caps. About 4 to 5 months into it, the first cap like completely fell off and was gone, so I threw the second one on, and it's only been about 4 or 5 months. It's super loose, and it just like doesn't adhere very well to the actual shift knob. So I mean, the shift knob itself is fine, it's just the sticker on here really kind of sucks. Not to mention the groove that the sticker sits in is too deep, so even when the sticker is on there, you can still kind of catch your nail on the rim of it. So I'm not super happy with the quality of this shift knob. I'm probably going to switch up to like a Condor Speed Shop knob fairly soon, but if you're looking to buy a Delrin knob, I wouldn't really recommend it because the quality kind of sucks. Along with the manual swap came a handful of modifications as far as drivetrain goes. So it is a full ZF swap, so we have a ZF transmission and the ZF drive shaft, all that good stuff. It has a lightweight flywheel and a stock M3 clutch. We also have full stainless clutch lines, a B&M short shift kit, and a UUC DSSR rod. With the manual swap, I kept the factory automatic 3.38 limited slip diff. It's not really a modification, I know, but because the manual cars came with a 3.23, the 3.38 is a lot snappier in the lower gears, so I sort of throw it in there. Now under the hood we have an S52. It has widely gone untouched. I've done a handful of things to it, but I really haven't cracked into the motor too far yet. We have a full AC system delete simply because my HVAC unit up front just doesn't work at all. I kind of use that as an excuse to rip the whole AC system out of the car. We have an ECS tuning front strut bar. I really like that strut bar. It's a nice strut bar. The only issue I had with it is the factory hardware they supplied with is stainless steel, equal grade nuts and bolts, and those gall like a motherfucker. So if you're gonna get this bar, get different hardware for it. We're running a Cobb Motors cold air intake. I really actually like that intake. It's a really good intake for the price. And then of course we got the Mishimoto oil cooler kit, ran through the front bumper, mounted on the front bumper, and along with that had to come this little, I believe it's a Rally Road oil cap. So this cap replaces the factory metal cap and has these two AN fittings that run the lines too. If you're gonna run one of these coolers, I would not recommend getting this cap. This is the second cap I've had. The first one, they have these little side plugs that you could like tap a line in for oil feed for a turbo or whatever you want to feed oil to. And these are tapered threads, and they tap them too deep on about half the ones I've seen, so they all like to leak from there. So if you're gonna get one, there's a couple different cap options. They're a little bit more expensive, but much nicer quality. Aside from that, we're running a Castle Performance tune. Now the main thing for this tune for me was to get rid of the automatic P0600 code, but it also is a performance tune, raises red line, removed the speed limiter, all that good stuff, and it added a nice little bump in power to the car. So as far as modifications go for this thing, that is it. So this car isn't super modified. We have a handful of stuff done to it, but honestly, it's the perfect daily driver. All of the modifications that this car has all work well with each other and sort of make the car a lot better than it was from factory. It's got a little bit better power, but the responsiveness of the car has greatly been improved, especially with the auto to manual swap. The suspension and the chassis brakes in the car feels firm and stiff and really dialed in, and it's really nice. I'm really happy with the way this car is set up right now. So this thing really is kind of my perfect daily driver setup. It still has the full interior, so it's comfortable to drive. It's not like overbearingly loud, and it rides real nice and it handles real well. On top of that, this car has been meticulously maintained by the previous owner and by myself. And on top of that, the manual transmission, the suspension modifications, the engine modifications I have give it a lot more of a performance feel. It feels good, it's fun to push, it's fun to get on. You know, I can take corners hard, I can just really enjoy the car. And when you're daily driving, you know, there's not a lot of cars that you can really push all of the time and just have fun driving. I have a blast driving this thing every single day to work, to school, wherever I gotta go. Driving this thing is fun. So we haven't really started building this car. I have a lot of plans for this thing in the future, but for now, she is my perfect little daily driver. I hope you guys enjoyed the build breakdown. As of January 2019, my cars are changing fairly frequently. So if it's not January 19 anymore, this car might be a little bit different. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep it fresh, and I'll see you guys later.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars.